Hello and welcome to MDG Media's coverage of the European Open. This is a PDGA major, second major of the year. We have round 2, front 9, FPO chase card action on the beast. The course is prime, the conditions are good. Really exciting to watch some major action here. First on the card, we have Missy Gannon, sponsored by Discraft, hitting the fairway very well and pretty solid putting as well, 975 rated. Quite a few big titles to her name and a big money Missy nickname, getting those big paychecks when it counts. We have Jenni Karppinen from Turku, Finland. She's 918 rated. 80% fairway hits and sipping on a no-co. That's the No Carbs company. We have Catrina Allen, two-time champion at this event, as well as a two-time world champion from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, hitting the fairway 3/4 of the time, representing Team DGA. We also have Eveliina Salonen, 964 rated player, sponsored by Innova from Valkeakoski, just south of Tampere here. Very, very exciting chase card here. Get right into it with this legendary hole. Par 3, 98 meters through this gate. Navigating through these beautiful birch trees, sloping downward, moving a little bit right to left. Got to try to beat these and these final ones up on the green here that guard this elevated basket. And the green drops off pretty quickly right behind. This hole brought to you by the Disc Golf Network. Here's Missy. Looks a little early left, and it gets hung up, yep. This is also leaking a little left. Yeah, catches one of those early trees and kicks right onto the fairway. Catrina with a more right side wider line, but it also hits a tree. Eveliina, little inside and also catching a tree. So not the best tee shots you'll see, but see if everybody can get up and down for those pars anyway. Looks like a circle's edge putt for Eveliina. Good approach there from Catrina. Solid approach from Missy as well. Jenni going with a sort of a step through throw and puts it pretty close. Eveliina for par. Misses right side, but I think it stays up. Yeah, mostly. Relatively short comebacker there for the bogey. Eveliina and Catrina tied at +3. One stroke behind Missy and Jenni coming into this round. Another missed putt from Eveliina. There she is in for the double bogey. This hole averaged right at par today. It was 15% birdies. 13th most difficult on the course. We won't see any birdies on this lead card, but we did have birdies from Jessica Weiss, Silva Saarinen, Olivia Chinstead, and Sophie Bjorlöke. Nice way to get your second round started. One of those holes on the course that most of the field can reach, but still a pretty technical line. Overhand tap in from Catrina for par, and that'll do it for hole 1. 3 pars and a double bogey there from Eveliina. Short little walk over to 2's tee pad. It's going to be a little bit shorter this year. They moved the FPO tee pad up about 15 meters or so. Here we see it 95 meters with a left to right shape. Quite a few big trees there on the right inside line. And OB lining both sides, narrowing as it gets closer to the basket on the backside. And quite a lot of stuff on the green. It's very open on the front side here, but if you overshoot it long, then you can have to contend with some pretty thick bushes in there. This one brought to you by Discmania. Missy hates it, but yeah, I guess the nose is up a little bit. It's not going to keep the turn, and that drifts OB. Looked like a fairly good line, but she knew the disc was too stable for that type of release. This is kind of the opposite mistake, it looks like. Yeah, catching the inside trees, and she'll have about 40 meters left, or a little less perhaps. Catrina going with the forehand, getting it to flip up towards flat, comes back nicely, and skips and slides up there to circle's edge, probably about 12 meters. Eveliina opted for that forehand as well, but way early release. And that kicked OB, unfortunately. Kind of a nightmare start here for Eveliina, it seems like. Solid approach. Just a little low on that bid from Missy from C2. Catrina here for the birdie look. Drops it in. Beautiful putt. Gonna move to 1 down for the round. And drawing even now with Missy and Jenni. Missy's comebacker from about 6 meters on the money. So a bogey after that OB. Jenni Karppinen, sponsored by Prodigy Discs, and puts that in for a solid par. Eveliina going to tap in her bogey. They'll be moving on to hole 3, the par 5, brought to you by Ford. A little bit shortened tee pad for the FPO, 240 meters, pretty straight in the beginning. You have to choose whether to lay up short of this OB line or press and clear over to here on this part of the fairway. Once you get up to here, you want to try to start moving left past these trees. And there you'll see the basket perched up on that ridge, elevated. No OB behind in this layout, but still a pretty treacherous hole. Totally gettable, but a lot can go wrong as well. Catrina elects to lay up short there. Jenni from a standstill backhand. Looks like a putter, so yeah, she'll just be executing the layup very nicely as well. Missy with a very soft layup there. Very safe. Evelina's going to go for it. She's got a driver. And a lot of power. Good move on this one. If it can just avoid the big skip. Oh, it does indeed flare. And she's going to be out. So Eveliina really struggling here at the start of round 2. Played very well here last year. Pushing Paige Pierce to the wire there and taking second place ultimately. Good stroke there. Nice distance gained, and here's Catrina. Looks like it came out a little earlier, maybe lacked some follow through and fades out into the OB, unfortunately. Eveliina putting a big move on this. Little touch of Anheuser, and it comes back nicely. Way up there. Pretty good chance to just get up and down for the par after that OB. Make sure you check out the Disc Golf Network for live coverage of all the Disc Golf Pro Tour events and these big majors as well. Jenni leaves herself there on the circle's edge. Missy with a committed hyzer, skipping her into a decent spot. Catrina with a nice smooth stroke there. Comes in and leaves herself about 6 or 7 meters, a little bit uphill to the elevated basket. And Missy's approach is just a little shy, but she's such a great putter. Shouldn't be a problem from there. Eveliina with a little bit of a step through approach. And she's right there next to Missy. There's Jenni putting it close. Catrina in for the bogey.
Might be you. No. It looked like me from there, and now it looks like. Yeah, I can.
The struggles on the green continue for Eveliina. That one sails past on the right side, and she'll have most likely a similar distance coming back. Missy with a nice par. And a similar miss from Eveliina, showing a little bit of frustration there. Just It's not coming out that clean. Sticking in the hand a little bit long, maybe. This is the second most difficult hole on the course. 5.73 average for today. We did have 2 birdies. Kristen Tatar and Henna Blumrus. So with that double bogey, Eveliina moves to +5 on the round. And Jenni with another par, 3 for 3. So far, so par for her. And now we're heading to the woods. Get to see a little bit of teeth on the beast. Nice merch available there from the Disc Golf Pro Tour shop. Be sure to check that out. Hole 4, par 4, 186 meters through this tight tunnel. Beautiful fairway full of a wide variety of tree species. It's also sloping heavily right to left. You do have a Mando right there that you have to stay left of. OB up on the road, and really nightmare down there on the left if you kick hard there. Here we see the green moves up and tucked back to the right with a very low ceiling. Pretty tough par 4, really, averaging at 4.46, making it the 4th hardest. We do have 1 birdie so far coming into this. Kristen Tatar. Who is your outright leader after day 1, looking to take down her first European Open. Missy Gannon, straight down the middle. Good looking shot. Catrina with a forehand. Lands it nicely there, right in the middle. Eveliina's forehand breaks hard right, but kicks a tree and moves left, and then gets a nice little roll right to the center. There in the sweet spot. Good reaction. Bit of tree love there to help keep her straight in the middle of the fairway. Missy's approach catches a branch, and that slows it down a little, but up there about 20 meters from the basket. Jenni Karppinen from the standstill. Looks a little low, but can it slide? A little bit work left to do there to get up and down. Catrina Heiser flipping this backhand. Fades out into the bushes. Eveliina's forehand fights through and ends up in a bit of a tight spot, but gains some good distance there. Whoa. Nice run there from Jenni. And it checks up close. I believe this is Catrina pitching out. Should do it. Eveliina just has to pitch out as well. Does so nicely. Should be under the basket. Circle 2 here for Missy. Comes up just a little bit short there. Great putt. Solid par. 4 in a row for Jenni. The only one on the card bogey free still. And 1 stroke ahead of Missy and Catrina at the moment. Eveliina starting to drop back a little bit after that very slow start. See if she can get things rolling here soon. She's got all the skills required to score well at this course, just not having her best day so far. Good par for Missy. And Eveliina taps in her par. So that's going to be a par frame here on hole 4. Then we'll be walking really short distance to 5. This one brought to you by the PDGA. That's the Professional Disc Golf Association. And it's exactly 100 meters or 328 feet. Strong sloping hillside right to left. Bit of a low ceiling here right before you enter the green. But the main difficulty on this one is that rollaway potential. You got to try to match the disc angle with the slope or check it up there on the right side. Anything you can do to stick it close on this one is what you're looking for, because if you roll down, there's that lake down there. It usually doesn't make it that far, but you can definitely find yourself pretty far out of position if you miss this tee shot or if you get a little bit unlucky on the green. This one knocks straight down in the center of the fairway, about 30 meters left. This is just drifting gently left, catches some branches, and it's going to be about 25 meters uphill there. Whoa. High with a lot of anhyzer, but it works out pretty well. Ends up somewhere near the circle, I believe. Eveliina with the power sidearm that seems to be a little right side, but it gets a good skip. And that's going to leave her inside the circle. Solid approach. So as you can see, it's really just perfect conditions this morning. Sunshine, no wind at all. There's a nice little patent pending backhand upshot from Catrina, and now Missy will putt from C2. Comes up short. This hole averaging 3.08. As we see Catrina with another solid putt for par. We did have 4 birdies on the day. Kristen Tatar, Anneli Togias-Manista, Olivia Chinstead, and Tele Tomsulu. All getting the 2 here.
I was on circle 2.
UDisc scorekeeper there checking the stats. Hole 6, par 3. Straight through this gap. Pretty tight line. Quite a bit uphill in the very end of it towards the green. And a very narrow entrance into that green, as you see here. This line that the drone's flying is the biggest gap. There is also options there on the right side of that tree that you're flying past right now. Also, some players try to go really wide around everything and come in the back door. Takes a lot of power for that, and it's not a very common line, but most players just looking to pipe this right off the tee through the middle. Jenni puts a little bit of turn on this, and it comes back beautifully right there. Circle 2. Solid shot. This one playing pretty difficult on the day at 3.19. No birdies yet coming into it. Mostly pars. That's a little left. Not where you want to be at all. Very obstructed over there. Oh, Eveliina with a bad slip. Went nose up, faded hard left. Here she is throwing 2. And it's coming in really nicely. Right there. For an easy 3. Catrina with a bit of a spike hyzer approach. Puts it perfectly there inside the bullseye ring. Oh, Jenni getting it up nicely, but it catches the band, very top of the band and the top of the basket. Stays close anyway. You got to worry about this one for rollaways. If you do hit some metal and it turns vertical, it will come right back at you. You might end up even further than where you were putting from, so something to be conscious of. Make sure you subscribe today to the Disc Golf Network. Get a great value for your money there. Lots of content. Quality content as well, including live coverage from the top level of the game. That putt just short. So still no birdies. Eveliina here trying to clean up the par after the slip off the tee. Looking for 3 pars in a row after a very slow start. And that's a good looking putt there. Another par for Jenni. So she's got 6 in a row, just keeping it clean, sticking to her game plan. And par is a really good score for the FPO on this course. Of course, Kristen Tatar leading. Shot a 4 down on day 1. The only player under par. Here we are, hole 7. Another tough par 4 at 185 meters. Quite uphill through this narrow gap. Anything right side is big trouble. Best tee shots will skip about here and land somewhere here. And then you'll hopefully be lined up for an approach to this very scary green. Drops off right outside the bullseye ring there on the right side and heads straight down to the lake. A couple of really sweet guardian trees here to beat on your way in. And you really got to be careful with the speed control and try to get it to check up close, because leaving it short gives you the death putt, and juicing it long, it's even worse. Jenni's comes out a little early. Looked like it kicked straight down anyway. You really hate to see him flying off to that right side. It's nasty in there. This hyzer looks good, and it skips right up there into a nice spot. Another hole with some really lovely trees. That one's a little bit short of where you want to be off the tee, but this one's quite a difficult birdie, so par save. Still a good feeling for sure. We did have one birdie coming into this. Silva Saarinen got it. She parked it as well. Evelina's forehand down the path here on the left. Catches a late tree. Loses a lot of that fade. She's going to have to just try to get up and down from there. Catrina with a nice forehand scramble. She's getting herself way out from the rough there. And she'll have a pretty routine up and down for the par now. Missy Gannon with a putter. And it's in circle 2. Evelina's breaking right. And it looks like it skipped over the edge there. Never a good feeling. There is a bit of a shelf there right at the top. If it doesn't go too far, you might still have a putt, but in most cases it'll roll right down the hill, and that's when this hole gets really difficult. Because it's not easy to get up from down there. There's some low-hanging branches. It's way uphill. A very claustrophobic feeling with terrible footing. It's such a steep slope, and it's so shady that it's often moist. Can be very slippery. Jenni with a good-looking approach. That should skip and slide right to the basket, and it does. Can Missy be running this? No, I was going to say, this early in the event, that's huge risk to take. Laying it up seems to make sense for her, and she does it nicely. There we see another pretty good approach and a great putt from Jenni. It's for a bogey, but very nice looking stroke. That's her first bogey of the round after 6 consecutive pars. Catrina. Solid par putt from Catrina. And some routine tap in here from Missy, as well as Eveliina. Hole 8 is only 78 meters, but way uphill, so playing closer to 100. You just got to get out this tee and try to move a little bit right to left. Got these hay bales here that'll keep the really low shots from skipping and sliding up to the green. You got to try to clear it in the air and then get it to check up near the basket. Most of the difficulty on this one is the green itself, which is elevated on this mound. And you will see, especially when the wind picks up, some putts back and forth. But luckily today, just dead calm. See how these players can attack it in the calm conditions. Missy looking really good. Needs to stable up right now. And it does. And it is fantastic. Catrina with the hyzer flip. Gets up to almost flat, fades a little early and hits the hay bales. Jenni with a smooth hyzer touch here. It's going to get her right inside the circle. Eveliina throwing a slower speed disc. Unable to clear the hay bale wall. She's going to be outside circle 2, I believe, and just decides to lay it up. Smart play. And a layup there from Catrina as well. This hole averaging right at par. 19% birdies, 15% bogey or worse. As you see, Jenni pull that putt a little bit. Screen can get in your head a little. Of course, Kristen Tatar got it. She's just shredding it up. Ella Hansen, Olivia Chinstead, Dele Tomsalou, all getting the birdie. And we'll see if Missy Gannon can join that birdie club. Sure looks like it. She's right there. About 4 meters. In for the birdie. And back to even par for the round. Which is great. Quite a frustrating miss from Eveliina there from short distance. Wasn't even close, but didn't go too far, luckily. See if she can dial this in. That's a good putt there. Unfortunate bogey, but nice to get a confident putt there to finish. Jenni also with a bogey. Catrina taking that par. Now on to hole 9. Par 3, 103 meters. There's this inside line, usually with the backhand here that the drone's flying, but you can also throw a forehand there, I suppose, if you want to contend with all these trees. Otherwise, the safest play is probably to go around it all with the forehand, but I do like this inside line with the turnover backhand. And here you see it, pretty open green. Football, golf also available on this hole. That's what you see at the base, where you can kick the ball in for your putt. Missy taking that inside line, turning it nicely, getting it not too far from the basket anyway. Or was that OB actually, perhaps? I heard a kick, but I didn't see exactly where it went, but it may have been that it went OB. Jenni going with that nice turnover, but it kicks hard left. That's in the OB for sure. What a rough kick. Eveliina also throwing that backhand line, and she kicks way off to the right. But luckily safe, I believe. Very good approach from Jenni. And Missy was indeed out of bounds, it looks like. Does well to put it close for the bogey save. Eveliina stretching out with the forehand and putting it right up near the basket. Catrina missing the basket, but does land in the football goal. Don't think she's going to be too happy about that, though. bogey there from Jenni. 3 bogeys in a row to finish off the front 9 after keeping it so clean early. Hope she can shake it off. Start scoring on the back. Eveliina in for par. Slipping behind quite a bit now. +7 behind the leader on this card. It's looking like some bogey frame here. Or I apologize, that was a par from Catrina. She's got 6 pars in a row. And that's going to do it for the front 9. Here we see our top 10 leaderboard. Kristen Tatar with a 10-stroke lead through just 27 holes. Anneli Toges-Manista, her fellow countrywoman, trying to stay in striking distance. Ella Hansen one back from her. Missy Gannon, Catrina Allen, and Tele Tomsalu all tied at +3 there. In 4th position. Some pretty big numbers from Eveliina. Not having her best day. Make sure to support MDG Media on their Patreon account. You can do that at patreon.com/MDG Media. There you see a list of supporters. Get your name on there, and really appreciate all that. Helps us keep producing this quality content. That's going to do it for the front 9. We'll see you on the back.